by even picking up a Lincoln Sphere, not even a BKB, but yeah, considering the damage over time from Venomancer, you might want to pick up that bottom. We've got Jay on the Storm Spirit.
Uh-oh, Moshi might just die. Straight up. Orb of Venom, he's a slow-ass hero in the first place. Oh, he is going down and he knows it.
But yeah, Jesse, one last right click. That's the first blood already down the range, so yeah. Mid Venomancer, that's one weakness, right? He's a strong hero, but he's not gonna be able to survive up against that. And neutral deny. And we've got Cuckoo on the Templar Assassin. In the top lane, we've got Jules on that Spirit Breaker, and of course Jesse on the Bounty Hunter, already claimed first blood. On the other side, we've got Black here, kind of battling up. No, battling up in the top lane against both of these, and whoa, what the hell is happening down bottom?
Yeah, a big overcommitment there, up against the Storm Spirit,
Speaking of Fnatic, we've got Mushi here, might be in trouble again. Jesse with the slow. That's gonna be a dead Venomancer for sure. Gets the Gale off, but it's gonna eat through refractor charges, but enough mana to keep the slows going. That. And top lane Black, of course, on. Oh god. Nets gets the hacks off onto Jules, so that charge will be cancelled, but I'm not quite sure if that's actually enough to save him. He eats through the trees, but one more right click should do it. It's a little bit quicker, and then it's even a bash. Of course it was a bash.
Snowball bottom though, Storm Spirit's going to be taking some damage and they're going to have to use the Shallow Grave this time. There's no zombies left in play, but they're actually just going offensively. Storm Spirit with the magic wand almost kills off the Tusk, but instead goes down to the double decay, and Ohio actually gets heal bombed by the creep wave. Perfect mana and cooldown coming up just in time for Rior, and that's going to be huge for him. In the meantime,
can't actually, can't hit click on both of them at the same time, but there's a small corridor. Jesse Vash is just abusing every single time.
He's been a little bit too slow on his feet against still 285 movement speed, and it's pretty tough for him.
Possible point of contention here. 2-man decay, 2-man stun as well. There's a tombstone here, doesn't put it on a high ground, not actually on the inaccessible cliff, but the hack comes down on the storm surge, follow up snowball here onto him. And should, the Shadow Grave comes out on time. Ryu should fall. Don't know that it's gonna be enough to actually keep the Stormsword safe. No teleport, even if he had, it would have been stunned out of it. Not quite level 6 either. Especially if you go for the Sword build, you're always going to be spamming out these... Oh, might see an engagement down in the jungle actually. He's going to charge up, he's looking to bring down the Sword.
Oh no, that was a mistake.
And a punch up into the air, so...
Huge misplay.
No life for it though.
Yeah, we're actually going to see the TP canceled just in time by a Shuriken. It was actually just lucky that that actually happened, but in the end the Spirit Breaker will connect with his charge and bring him down. And the misplay I was talking about is actually the Storm Spirit versus a Tusk. If you're being snowballed upon, you're able to farm up much faster with that 100 attack speed boost than anything else.
Chrissy, he had the charge coming, but it was cancelled, but DJ had the Soul baited out. Now that put him in the top spot. That was really unfortunate timing there.
The Hex is in play, but they don't want to dive under the tower, so we're actually going to see them refract and kill off the tombstone, and charge will be cancelled by Jules.
And decisive, we'll see him. And meanwhile in the back, Mushi actually joined the fray. He is tracked up, so they know. Even if he was invis, I kind of thought he was invis for a second there, the way that they're not actually right-clicking him, but now the charge comes out. Mushi will fall, the snowball comes in, DJ looking for a counter kill here. Nets on the top with a double stun, but they don't actually have enough burst to finish him off, and Mineski with a stopping long jump from the Raging Potato J here. They get the lockdown onto DJ with another strike as well. Did another track over
wow.
here. They wow, what was that?
That's Desolator, man.
Down. And now Jules, he gets kept alive by the Shadow Grave for a little while. He might be able to get out, yeah, with the Shadow Wave as well, keeping him safe from the creeps and all things. And yeah, 3 heroes down, a couple of Dracos was in there, and that's the kind of game that you wanted it out if they were watching him. Blocking up the Ancients there.
I believe so. They're paying pretty much right on it, so I think they'll be able to manage that appropriately. And if that's the case, they wasted 2 sentries, a dust, and a smoke, and they're still going to lose a hero.
That's it.
Oh, and net too.
Oh, Nets as well with the jump from the Raging Potato. And that's 2 track kills, I believe. And yeah, Mushi not. If he gets off his ultimate there, maybe that's a
Diffusal Blade. If he gets the Diffusal Blade out shortly, then it's not that bad, and he has that second Alacrity up, so it shouldn't be that long. It's only like 1150 out after you get the 2 blades.
Gets intercepted here, caught in a rune by the Templar Assassin, and then Jay and Jesse, the
most damaging spells in the game by itself, even though it proves non-fatal.
Yeah. And now they will find Black. Oh, there's the silence coming out. He does have the fuel.
Nice stun!
Oh, nice stun though from that. Keeping him safe for a little bit longer. Now turnaround with the Shell Grave counter again. Stormsword still alive. They do not get the kill on Black though with the well-timed doppelganger almost keeping him alive. But now finally get that kill. But last little bit of mana for Stormsword has to come in to get himself out. Chrissy looking for the kills, but there's still 3 heroes around here.
Ooh.
And now he's tracked up all alone, being kited around with all the slows coming out. And Undying even dies at the river for some reason.
The important stuff there was essentially the Spearbreaker thought that the Dazzle had his Shallow Grave up, and he didn't go for the Walrus Punch into the Storm. Instead, just goes for the Dazzle, who is the main threat in that situation, and actually Mushi's going to get picked off too. There are just so many kills going the way of Mineski that no matter what
cool. And that one kill on the Vandalmancer, it was about a 1400 gold change. 1,000 going the way of Mineski's heroes. Just because of that one pickup on the Vandalmancer. Now, oh, Cuckoo, they might get him. That would be great. But now the charge comes in. Shallow Grave comes out. Nice double stun once again from Net, and should be enough to secure the kill on the TA. Can they turn this around here? Not like up against a Tombstone, I don't think. Now Spiritbreaker has the BKB pop that you freshly picked up. Now charges out. Should be alright.
That's unfortunate. They really wanted that kill, but
yeah.
All the same, at least they get the TA. They hold in general. Like, you usually will have a TA trap just chilling out in that area and keeping tabs on when he's up. Or they're actually going to be able to look to engage with this charge. It's got to be on Net to counter it, and they can't.
Oh, Ohio actually being blown up by Cuckoo here before even getting Tombstone. Now there's the Mushi ultimate, but that's already down. Double buyback from them as Fnatic now turns the fight around. Cuckoo will get picked off in the midst of all of that by the hands of Black. And Spiritbreaker forced the TP back out. If they get 2 kills, they lose the Temple Assassin though. 2 buybacks will secure this Roshan at the very least. It should.
And then pick up a Satanic in as his 6th slot after BOTs. Actually, he has BOTs.
He's come back from Mineski.
Oh, we are picked off. This could be huge.
Well, that's why he has a Shallow Grave up, and they see him even through the Glimmer Cave, and they will be able to wait that out. Cuckoo joining into the fight, pops the BKB, but still being right-clicked down. A lot of spread damage coming out, but oh
nice.
No! Stormsword zipping in, exposing himself to the entirety of Fnatic's lineup. A little bit of miscommunication there from Mineski, it looks like. And that'll, yeah, that's a tier 2 tower down. With no Fnatic, then that's probably some pressure on a tier 3 as well. Stormsword may have to buy back here, which is what you want to do with that low timer.
Yeah, they're just going to back off in about 5 seconds here. They're just doing a little bit more damage, and they're going to need to disengage. They don't really have the tools to fight further with just the Poison Nova off cooldown. But Black is still there for the moment. He'll look to Doppel, I guess, and yeah, they'll kind of reset everything. Jules is going in pretty deep here.
Yeah,
he has to BKB it.
It's another charge down. It was the 8-second charge. It's not even
components that'll allow him to sustain the push and get into those fights.
Yeah, I think not a whole lot wrong with that for sure. And now they look to use the Aegis to the best abilities once more as Cuckoo is forced to meld out. Black now being charged down with Jay coming in as well. And now might be able to trigger the Aegis, but then Fnatic should be coming in and backlines. But Cuckoo trying to stay now out before that. DJ will fall. Mushi gets his ultimate off, and now Stormsword once again he's got between a rock and a hard place. Shallow Grave will be used to keep him alive, but Cuckoo doesn't benefit from that as a result, so longs it back, and at the very least...
Oh, no buyback! No buyback!
There's no buyback on Storm, only buyback on TA. We'll have to use it, but these Drags should be down for the count regardless. There's still a charge coming out. Black will get caught in the midst of that, but BKB comes out onto Jules, and now he has to walk away. Black doesn't have his Aegis anymore, but is still feeling very comfortable because there's not a lot left on Mineski to fight up against him, especially with that Stormsword down. Yeah,
I really thought the Mineski had pulled it through by getting past the difficulty they found in the early game in Game 1. They
almost has the Butterfly as well, already had quarterstaff in his inventory. Well, your quarterstaff, I guess, but... yeah, who jumps on who? That's gonna be the question. Cuckoo under the cover of Meld on the sidelines here, waiting for someone to pass by closely. There's a charge coming out. Stormsword zipping in the back here, looking for the line. Will pick up Net, and now, Mushi pops his ultimate on pretty much everyone here, and Stormsword already forced out. Black still alive and kicking. For more targets, looking for counter kills. They will only get the Spiritbreaker for the time being. They lose both the Vandalmancer as well as the line for it. Is that enough? It can keep it alive a little bit longer, but you have to use all the time to get out of dodge and not take any further damage to Maybe even having to tell.
Wow, Black! The procs on that doppelganger were absolutely insane. The juxtapose. He didn't cast anything with Spirit Lance.
Why should he? There's not a whole lot they can do up against him now. I mean, even if he gets silence, he just manages out of it, and anything else he can doppelganger off. And they're very comfortable just keeping him here in the front lines. Banging out the illusions, breaking down the racks, and Mineski, especially without the Spirit Breaker, that's the one sort of soft counter to just be able to charge on someone on the back, kind of give them a little bit of a momentary respite here, and just being able to knock all of these illusions at once. But it's very limited utility that you have up against the Zabi.
Mushi's gonna get charged on here. Might actually be a decision point. He's gonna survive just long enough to get the Nova off. We'll see how much damage it can do.
Yeah, there it is, Cuckoo. Top lane, top of the fight here, gets Shallow Graved up, but he will still fall. He will still get the Undying, but at what cost at this point? He doesn't have a buyback here. Spirit Breaker also falls in black. Meanwhile, on the back, we've got Stormswift coming up against Mushi and losing.
Oh, unfortunately.
How often do you see that? And that's 3 heroes down. There's still a buyback available on Storm. He'll have to use it immediately. Try and battle up against this, but this...
Oh, the long zip gets Mushi! Bullseye! That was really skillfully done. Though there was no Radiant Vision there, so it was just... I mean, maybe it's tracked. I actually didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. But it was still a good prediction in terms of movement, and it was a hell of a zip. But all the same, the cost him buyback, it's 60% gold penalty, and Black, he got to do whatever the hell he wanted in that fight. He ended up actually being the gatekeeper. He stood outside the base, and everybody that was limping away from the fight due to being hit by the Poison Nova, he just like 2 or 3 shot them. And there's another one. That is a bot backstorm die backing, and it is certainly not worth.
I don't know what made him think that he could go for Black, but maybe they already resigned, and yeah, they call him GG now, and it's, as we said, that Phantom Lance are getting up to a point where no one can stop them. Mineski did not have the late game heroes to deal with that, and they called it GG. Fnatic claims the series with a 2-0 victory, moving on to the finals to battle up against MVP Phoenix for a spot at ESL 1 New York. Yeah, Blaze